My iTunes is bugging out and decided to delete all of my playlists, which, as you can imagine, is no inconvenience whatsoever, so no music for this announcement. But Samurai Karasu, as he is wont to do, uploaded a perfect run of a Robot Master that I was going to use to open my next board. If you recall, the same thing happened with Mars, and here we are again with Freeze Man. So be sure to check his video out first, so you can see how much better I do. I assume. I haven't edited it yet. But probably that. Well, we are down to only 2 Robot Masters left in Mega Man 7. And that's more than I have left in any other game, so let's get one out of the way, and it's one I've been avoiding for a reason. Freeze Man, this is gonna be a fight. I'm really not sure if I hate Freeze Man's music, or if I just hate him and my hatred carries over. Yeah, he's a beast, and he himself is the reason that I put off doing this stage for so long. It's nothing really to do with the stage. There are a few tricky moments, but nothing that I can't handle. Unfortunately, the boss battle is just brutal. And yet, it's totally fair. I can't really complain. I do think it's one of the most satisfying battles now that I know how to do it. It's just a question of it being really tough. They also give Freeze Man the interesting ability to vary his AI. I'll talk about that, since there's not really much worth talking about in the stage. It's a standard ice stage, and honestly, I think it's one of the less interesting in the game. But yeah, Freeze Man basically has 3 attacks, and he cycles through them in the same pattern every time until you kill him. Sounds easy, and it would be. Unfortunately, well, maybe not unfortunately, it's pretty cool, I guess, but Capcom allowed Freeze Man to vary his AI. I don't quite know when that is supposed to take effect. We'll worry about that later another time. That latter another time, anyway. But yeah, basically, Freeze Man can decide that his standard pattern is no longer good enough and change on the fly. That makes for a pretty interesting fight, and one that's honestly never totally predictable. But again, it's a fair fight. It's just not an easy one, so let's hope this eventually counts. That was probably the trickiest maneuver in this stage if you don't count the boss room. And honestly, if I can not count the boss room, I'm always happy to do so. This polar bear can drop icicles on you, but that's okay, we need some practice dodging those anyway. And we're not going to worry about that E-Tank, but we are going to worry about making it up this ladder safely. If you don't use Rush Coil, it's a pretty pixel-perfect jump. And with ice and spikes there, I don't really want an outtake because I failed to grab a ladder, do you? Well, you probably do, but to hell with that. Bit of a close call with that last one there, but they're really nothing to worry about. And we're through to Iceman, who is something to worry about. Oh no, Freeze Man, sorry. Like Skullman, Freeze Man does not move until you move. Gives you a bit of a chance to catch your bearings. You've now seen all 3 of his attacks, So hopefully he won't be doing any varying, and we'll be safe. So far so good. That was a bit of a close one with that icicle there. Let's keep it up, Freeze Man. A few more. Okay. Sorry, this has to be a quiet battle. Alright, this is not an easy boss. And so far he's behaving, so this one might actually count. Yes! Come on, the icicles in the middle are a lot easier to dodge, and he hasn't even done the other ones this time around. One more time, and we've got... Oh, not even one more time. Just get hit by these spikes, because they don't do damage, and it's a no-damage run, motherfuckers. Wow, I'm actually really kind of surprised. That was a lot easier than I expected. Or maybe I should just say it went faster. It wasn't easy. Now that I can do it, I love that battle. That is one of the most satisfying ones in the entire classic series. I will say that hands down. But it's tough. Anyway, the Freeze Cracker fires ice bullets, much like the shotgun ice, and the bullets will split when they hit the ground, or the wall, or the ceiling, or anything else. This is one of the few times where Mega Man's weapon is probably better than what the Robot Master had. If you'll notice, Freeze Man's Freeze Cracker was a bit smaller, it looked a lot different, and also the fragments were smaller. But yeah, that's it. As of now, we only have one Robot Master remaining from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Game Boy, 6, and 7. Yeah, we're not done yet. 7 more to go. I kinda don't want to move on. There's some bad ones in the pipeline, but I don't really have a say over it. The fates have decided. We're going all the way. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the outtakes. For once, I actually wish there were more. I can't really put my finger on it, but there's something about this music that just really rubs me the wrong way. Oh! You rub me the wrong way, too. This is probably going to be a quiet battle on my part. Freeze Man is a bit of a spaz. He also, like Skull Man, allows you a little bit of a breather. You can begin when you're ready to begin. Let's begin. He's got these 3 attacks that he uses nearly always in the same order. He can mix it up a little bit, and that's where, see, we are through to Freeze Man, who, as I mentioned, has a pattern. He has 3 attacks that he likes to use in succession. He also gives you a little bit of a chance to figure out what you want to do. Sort of like Skull Man in that regard, which is kind of nice. Okay, he is chosen already to vary his pattern, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Get it out of your... Oh, fuck! Boy, no pattern at all that time. It's a long fight, and it's a fight of reaction. Fortunately, though, he gives you a little bit of a breather at the beginning. He doesn't move until you move, which I do think is a really nice touch. Anyway, those are the 3 attacks that he does. Things only really get difficult when he decides to vary them like that. Fuck! Interestingly, though, they allowed him to vary his AI, and I don't think he has to provide any warning. I'm not really sure what the conditions are for him doing that, but he tends to do it just... Oh. Well, never mind, we're not going to see it on this run. This is a battle. It's long even when it goes well, so let's see how this one goes. He does give you a moment to get your bearings before you fight him. Like Skullman, he won't move until you make a move. Which I do think is a pretty cool touch. I like when Robot Masters do things like that. Well, you've now seen all three of his moves, so let's see if he sticks to that pattern. If he well, he is already not. And in fact... oh, God, I hate it when the icicles come from that side. oh, no! I was gonna say in the middle they're much easier to dodge, but he's not, so fuck it. Okay, this is not an outtake, and the next scene won't be either. I'm going to use a moment here to show off two aspects of the stage that I did not show off during the successful run, and also to just kind of comment on what you're seeing right here. The theme of this board, unintentionally obviously, was definitely technical difficulties. You will hear me referring to those many times throughout the runs that you're about to see. In fact, my old computer died, and many of you probably remember this, right after I finished recording this board. So yeah, I've been sitting on this for a while, being pretty lazy on the editing. This stage, as far as I remember, did not give me any technical troubles. However, now that I'm here editing it, what happens but my iTunes fails and I lose all of my playlists. I really don't know what's wrong there, and now they won't even save if I recreate them. No clue what's going on, but man, I cannot escape... Escape? What am I, Chris Bores? I cannot escape the technological curse of this board. Yeah, so you'll see a lot more to come. Anyway, let's show off what's on the upper path here. Yeah, it is the one remaining rush plate, so we can actually earn that super adapter that we have been abusing so thoroughly in these runs of Mega Man 7. But that's really all there is to show here. When you go down, you hit the checkpoint for the level, and there's nothing here that can harm you, so I'll meet you again shortly. Actually, there are three things that I want to show off here. En route to the second thing that I wanted to show off, I recalled this one, which I never actually knew before. I learned from Samurai Karasu's video, so let's check it out. Yeah, you can skip that guy. Pretty cool. I never actually knew that. And here is what I wanted to show off. As you can see, we're right at the boss gates. And we picked up the Rush Search. I didn't really comment on it at the time, but that's what we got during that difficult platforming section. Hope we don't scroll that bomb sleigh back on. But if you use the Rush Search, very hard to say quickly, right here at the edge of this ledge, he should start barking because he's found something. What is it, Rush? It's the exit module, and with this, we can escape stages that we've already completed, which means you can come back and you can mine for bolts and maybe look for rush plates and things that you might have left behind. It's not the most useful utility in the world, but it was an interesting attempt. So, Freeze Man. Yeah, much like with Mars at the beginning of the last board, we're not actually starting a new board of no damage runs right now. You'll have to wait a little bit longer while I edit those and get things together. I'll probably post a few more things in the meantime. It's just that, again, like Mars, best frenemy Samurai Karasu happened to post his perfect run, and it was exactly what I was going to post next anyway, so yeah, I really kind of wanted to rush this one just to compare the two. I think it's fun to kind of see how they stack up, especially since I don't always do perfect runs. So, you know, it's a pretty direct comparison when you can do something like that. Anyway, you guys kind of thought it would take me, on average at least, 21 attempts to take down Freeze Man without taking damage. I was right on your side, believe it or not. I thought it would take me 20 attempts. The stage is not really that bad. As you saw, I only had 2 outtakes during the stage, and they were both just clumsiness. It's a lot easier than I remembered it being. I think I'm just typically pretty careless when I go through it. The moment you start being careful of what you're doing, there's really nothing to worry about. Freeze Man, of course, accepted. That is a heck of a battle. I love it. When I finally learned not so much how to exploit him, but how to react to him, it really became a very satisfying kind of duel. So yeah, man, Freezeman really went from being one of the more mediocre robot masters in the franchise to actually being one of my favorite. Because that is just a darn good fight. So I take back everything negative that I've ever said about the guy. This was really pretty cool, and I'm glad that I did this series, otherwise I never would have come to appreciate him. I'm rambling. In reality, it took me 7 attempts. So, yeah, this was a lot easier than I expected. I feel like I earned it, don't get me wrong, it was a lot of practicing and figuring out. But once the camera was rolling, I did pretty well. For comparison's sake, Samurai Karasu took 10 attempts, so I'm not saying that I'm better, but the numbers are saying that I'm better. You know, we have numbers for a reason. We do. We have numbers for a reason.